Are they going to finish in the top four, Mario?
I mean, the question is going to be what kind of reaction you're going to have. You know, like coming into the World Cup, how are the players going to come back that are going to the World Cup, and then going into the situation? Because in the beginning, I was the quickest to say yes, they're going to hit the top four. But what Newcastle is doing, I want to see what they're going to create. Can they carry on this momentum after the World Cup? If that is the case, then Chelsea becomes a big question for me in seeing if they can hit the top four.
I tell you what. We are going. If results continue, say they get beat at Newcastle, who knows? I mean, it's plausible because they are a much better side at the moment. And then we go to the World Cup and we come back and it's a little negative. We're going to Chelsea, that is. We are going to find out fast about this new ownership that we really don't know much about, apart from Todd Bowley sticking his head above the parapet with stupid ideas, and we discuss it on here because we've got nothing else to talk about. We really don't know how they're going to operate. We knew how the last 20 years at Chelsea was operating. It was the man at the top. Whether we agreed and they agreed and the fans agreed, he did what he wanted. He made those decisions. I think for Graham Potter, he doesn't know. He knows they hired him, but he doesn't know how much they're going to back him. When fans start turning and digging their feet in and raising their voice, that's when you find out about your owners and your superiors. They either back you or they bow to the fans and they let you take the can. We're going to find out because this is a tough time for Chelsea. If they get a win or a result, he's got a breathing space now for a World Cup where he can rethink and relook at everything, maybe get some players fit. But boy, once this World Cup is over, he needs to hope he's got a full squad to pick from and he figures it out fast.
Ian, who's more likely to make the top four, Newcastle or Chelsea?
Well, at the moment, you say Newcastle United. They're 5 points clear of Chelsea. They've got a lot of work to do, Chelsea. You know, we just don't know what the landscape's going to look like on the other side of this World Cup. Players are going to come back. Some might be quite emotionally spent if their countries have had a deep run in it. Less so if they've come back pretty early and linked up with their clubs again. We just don't know. Probably Arsenal don't even want the season to stop the way they're going at the moment. As for somebody like Liverpool, it comes at quite a nice time, doesn't it? They can have a bit of a reset. So this is a fascinating season like no other. And anyone who tells you that they've got a great idea what's going to happen when it resumes on December the 26th is lying to you.
Mario, I think you wanted to pick up on something Craig said earlier.
Yeah, you know what Craig said about the ownership? You know, like, I remember my time when I was at Chelsea when, you know, like Abramovich came in. One key thing that he did in the meeting when he joined and he came in the dressing room, he sat us all down, the whole squad, and he made it clear and he said, like, look, guys, you all are here now. My objective is one thing. I want to win everything. They haven't, you know, like the owners with running the club now. I don't know if they told the players or the news came out, but at that time it was clear. I want to win everything, and I'm going to do whatever it takes. And now, like Craig said, you don't know yet what he's going to do. What are the key things that they're going to be focusing on? And I think they need to clear that really quickly, and hopefully he did it already.
And just briefly, one of the other key things is when we have this January transfer window, and there's generally not a bunch of movement amongst the big clubs at that time, but now and again you get the odd signing or loan, are we going to see Todd Bowley and his cronies pluck somebody out, and I'm thinking about a guy at Man United who Todd Bowley was trying to shove down the throat of Thomas Tuchel.
Is he Portuguese?
He's Portuguese, and he's had a few problems, and Thomas Tuchel didn't want him, and I'm almost sure Graham Potter wouldn't want him there either. Are we going to see this ownership just plucking one or two and dumping him on this manager? Because that's just going to exacerbate the situation, and we just don't know, because this is a new regime, this is a new manager, a new way they're doing business, but clearly at the moment things are problematic and not coming easy at Chelsea.
And things are pretty new as well at Newcastle too, but things are going right for them. Who's more likely of the two for you to finish in the top four?
At the moment, Newcastle. And what I like about what they've done, they went out, first of all, they went for the back line, pretty much. Lascelles, the captain, doesn't even get a game anymore. They've got Sharon Botman come in, Byrne come in, Target come in from Villa on loan and then sign but doesn't play. Trippier is, you know, Kieran Trippier, I really think that fella's ever had less than a 7 out of 10 in the latter stage of his career. The likes of Longstaff and Willock, you know, who else would be, I know Longstaff's been there pretty much all his career, Joe Willock from Arsenal. Who else would go and sign these players? You know, Longstaff and Willock and Joe Linton, who has been re-energised under Eddie Lowe in several positions. Who else in the Premier League really would go and sign these players of the top teams? Dan Burn from Brighton. Nobody. Yeah. Nobody. You know, Chelsea wouldn't go and sign Dan Burn and Man City and these. And, you know, so what he's done, or what they've done, they've brought in solid players that he knows he can do a job, and he's coaching them, and he's getting Callum Wilson's another, and he's getting the best out of them. Almiron. It's finding ways, finding ingredients to get these guys at their best. And they haven't signed. Guimaraes is a very good player. He wasn't a huge star, he's a very good player. These guys are solid professionals. And I think that's been a very clever, so far, way to go about it, rather than when the Saudi Arabian money come in and say, right, that's it, we're going to try and blow everybody out the water and sign the big players. And Eddie Howe was probably in the background going, no, let's just build slowly. And I think it's probably exceeded where they expected they were going to be so far, but it's been really good to watch.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.